Welcome, guys. It's TJ360, and this is a different new react. For a long time, I always want to do these what they call my story animation. So I picked this one. Let's see how realistic this thing is, or fake it is. It's my story animation. I'll leave the link down in the description below. And it said my family became a millionaire because of me. So let's hear it.
Wake up, you lazy bum. I woke up with a start as my stepmom stood over me, barking the list of chores she needed me to do today. But I just stared over her shoulder at a picture of my dad and me, a picture of happier times. Stepmom hadn't been so
That mom hasn't been so
bad while dad was around, but after he was gone, she became
rest in peace.
stuff of every kid. The next day,
Mm.
she came into my room and tossed a pile of pretty dresses on my bed. I was psyched. She hadn't bought me new clothes in years. I thanked her, but she laughed loudly. Are you crazy? These aren't for you. I want you to take my dresses to the dry cleaners. You can have these. My heart sank.
Aw. Some parents are good, some parents are bad. So, and then there's some good, there's some bad. No, there's some awful parents, there's some good parents, there's some bad parents. You know, a bundle of all.
Of my clothes were already old and worn out, and the kids at school made fun of me. She said, "You should be grateful I let you go to that fancy private school. That should be enough for you." Only because of Dad's will. Later, as I handed the clothes to the dry cleaner, I handed him a $10 bill and winked. Julia, you're such an idiot. She walked into my room carrying her dress. Had huge pink spots all over it. She kept screaming about how useless I was for 10 minutes, but it was totally worth it. It was hard with such a witch, but at least I had Sean. Later that evening, he took me to—
Wait. Hold on a second. Who's Sean? Things are moving way too fast. Okay. I understand. Okay, I understand. Sean is probably his boyfriend or whatever. But
a lot of those
you could at least say so.
there.
At least you could have said so. American kids are stupid. I'm sorry. Some American kids are stupid. I'm just saying it.
Knew they were talking about me. Feeling awkward, I told Sean that I was going to go touch up my makeup.
I don't know why people. I don't get it. People are so fast now these days. I don't get it. I'm not fast in people's lives. Like I'm not really fast in people, but why people are fast in other people's life? I don't get it. Maybe they seek at that tension, drama, boredom, some kind of escape. If I want to watch escape, I watch anime. If I want to see something new, I watch anime and manga and all that stuff. I don't really fast in people's lives.
When I came back, I nearly passed out. Sean was kissing another girl. I walked over to them and pulled the girl away from him, but the moment I saw her face, I was stunned. This girl looked exactly like me. Sean looked at the two of us in shock. What the hell? We just stood there, staring at each other. Who are you? The girl touched the necklace I was wearing. Where did you get this? Seriously? That's what she wants to know? My dad gave it to me. She laughed. Julia? Who was she, and how did she know my name? I'm Suzanne. Didn't Dad ever tell you about me? I'm your twin. I stepped back, looking at her in disbelief. I don't have a sister, let alone a twin. She pulled down her shirt, and I gasped. She was wearing the exact same necklace as me. When our parents divorced, we were separated. My mom told me that she left you with Dad and took me with her.
And you're taking this all pretty well, apparently.
Was spinning. I had the chance to meet my mom. When can I see her? She's probably out dating some loser again. We went to her boyfriend's apartment. I needed to know everything. The tiny studio apartment seemed quite nice. Well, until my eyes landed on the sleazy guy.
Sleazy?
Sitting in the corner. Yo, twins. I'm Emmett. Stan said he was her boyfriend and how awesome it was to date a college guy. I looked at her boyfriend. If Mom was out dating losers, well, like mother, like daughter. She told me how Mom would just come and go all the time, depending on whether she had a job or a man. All the guys she dated were losers, but Mom didn't care as long as they bought her pretty things. I was shook by everything I'd found out today. When we got home, my stepmom
Huh. That's
was having a dinner party with her friends. I grabbed Sean's arm and tried to sneak one.
so. All right, where were we?
As soon as she saw us, she started yelling in front of her friends, "How dare you bring a boy home?" Sneaking him in.
I don't understand that. That appearance. Okay, there are two ways: a parent and a child. It's not just a one-way street. It's two-way street, guys. Parents like this shouldn't be able to do this. It's not just a one-way. It's a two-way. Your kids are gonna eventually get older, and this is something you need to accept. They're gonna eventually start looking for the opposite sex or the same sex. One of the two. And as a parent, you should be able to guide them on whatever choice they make, but they're to love whoever they want to. So you shouldn't be doing this. So
Your room, were you?
well, maybe I'm talking absolute nonsense out of my butt.
Even I don't bring men home. Sean ran out as fast as he could. A few days later, Suzanne called me. "Mom wants to meet you." I'd heard all these weird things about her from Suzanne, but I was still so excited. This was the first time I was going to meet my real mom. Whoa.
But you met your sister. So
Mom wasn't at all what I was expecting. She walked over to me, eyed me up and down. Why was she dressed like that? "Hey, Julia, you could really use a makeover." "What? No hugs? No, I missed you? So where have you been this whole time?" "I've been busy raising a daughter. Your dad only gave me enough money to raise one of you." And honey, it wasn't easy at all. This was not the reunion I had imagined. I needed to get some air. I ran down the stairs.
yeah, it also well, this is reality.
Only to bump into Emmett. He blocked my way. "You hurtin', baby girl? Let me take care of you." Leaned in to kiss me. I thought I'd pass out because of his bad breath. "I'll give you $10 if you get away from me." He stepped back and held out his hand. Disgusted, I handed him a note from my wallet and walked past him. What a creep. A couple of days later, I came home from school to find my
Everything is going quite fast. Too fast, in fact. There's still a lot of information.
mom talking to someone. "It's been a long time, but I need you now." As soon as she noticed me walk in, she hung up and turned around. I had almost forgotten what her face looked like when she smiled.
Angel?
"Let's
That's a
order some
devil.
pizza today, darling." Darling? Was my stepmom dying? Was she finally gonna poison me with my favorite food? No, thanks. Not really hungry. I walked to my room in a daze. The next few days were crazy. My stepmom gave
Crazy?
me an allowance. I had no chores, and she even stopped yelling at me. I got a call from an unknown number one day. It was Mom. "Listen, honey, I know we got off on the wrong foot the other day. I wanted
Wrong
to get to know
foot?
you better. Meet me for lunch?" I really did want to get to know her better, so I agreed. I told her to meet me at the cafe after my shift. The next day, while I was still working, my mom talking to
Okay, wait,
some
working?
guy.
Wow, this is moving quite fast. Too fast, but about working. You didn't even mention about a job or anything of this. Like, these two stories are like skipping, where you find a job, what, I'm just gonna roll with
Was
it.
my English teacher. Oh, this man outside just snatched my purse. I'd taken some money from the bank. As she sobbed on his shoulder while he hugged her awkwardly, I saw her hand go into his coat pocket. He deftly took out his credit card and slipped the wallet back in. After he left, she walked up to me. "Ready for lunch? Let's go grab some sushi." My treat. I wait to tell Sean about
Wow.
how weird Mom was. When he came, though,
So
he
she's
looked
a bad girl.
distant. I asked him what was wrong. "I want to break up. I've met someone new and she's pretty cool. I just came to tell you that we're over." I felt so heartbroken. I thought Sean was better than that. Feeling really depressed, I called Suzanne and asked if I could come over. Mom was lying on the couch while Suzanne cooked her dinner. "Oh, good, you're here. Why don't you help your sister? She's probably really tired after her second job shift." I almost felt angry at Suzanne for pampering Mom so much. I wonder if she knew Mommy Dearest was also a thief. As I was about to
Huh.
go sit down at the table, my mom stopped me. No. That's my place. Sit somewhere else. Geez. She 2 years old? Suzanne brought the food and joined us. So, Julia, what were you so upset about? I was all ready to pour my heart out, but Mom suddenly started with a story of how horrible her day had been because her tattoo artist had tattooed the wrong butterfly on her arm. Just then, a car honked outside. Mom squealed, picked up her bag, and was out the door. I saw her get into a flashy car with some guy and drive off.
Wow.
Days
A
later,
gold digger.
walked into buy me a coffee, why don't you? I walked to her table with
She's a gold digger. Probably.
order. Where's my muffin? Suzanne never forgets. This woman was just too much. She was waiting around till the end of my shift, and I wondered what she wanted.
First red flag. She didn't. She didn't apologize for lefting you. Second warning. She acts spoiled and bratty. Third warning sign. She left with a man in a rich car as you say you did. That's the third warning sign. And she stole some card from your teacher. That's another red flag. So all of these are probably pointing me that she's a gold digger. Probably is that.
From me. She said she'd drop me at home. I'm really curious to meet this stepmom of yours. I don't think it's a good idea. Things had been so much better at home lately. I didn't want to ruin the peace. You think too much, Julia. Hurry up now. We walked into the lounge and I cleared my throat. This is my mom. I just recently found out that she and my twin sister live across town. Stepmom's reaction completely shocked me. That's marvelous, honey. I'm so happy you finally found your family. There's nothing more important. A hug. Then she turned to my mom. Why don't you stay with us for a few days? I'm sure Julia would like to spend quality time with you.
Quality time.
Sweet acting was killing me. And to my horror, Mom accepted it and came back with her bags within an hour. A few days later, I needed to work on a family tree project, so I decided to go through some old albums in the attic. I came across
I don't know. Something about this story is a little bit off. Maybe I'm not getting it.
That's college days. As I flipped through it, I suddenly stopped short. I knew Dad had met my mom in college, but why was my stepmom standing in the middle? And why had Mom and stepmom pretended not to know each other? I quickly went down. I had so many questions. I didn't see them anywhere.
Probably one was the ex and what, or probably both of them were interested in your dad's money. Maybe both of them are gold diggers. Who knows?
Low voices as I passed by my stepmom's room. I peeked in and almost passed out. My mom and my stepmom were kissing. Oh, I can't wait to go on a beach vacation with you. As soon as we get both the girls' signatures for their trust fund, we'll have to give them some kind of allowance, of course. Of course, we aren't complete monsters. We've actually
Wait, what?
And my step passed by my step.
Oh, there. I was not expecting that twist.
I peeked in and almost passed out. My mom and my stepmom were kissing.
Oh, so they're lesbians. I was not. That was a twist I was not expecting.
I can't wait to go on a beach vacation with you. As soon as we get both the girls' signatures for their trust fund, we'll have to give them some kind of allowance, of course. Of course, we aren't complete monsters. We've actually reunited the sisters. Aw, and finally, we can be together. You broke my heart when you married him. He and I reconnected many years after you left him. I was lonely, but of course, I never loved him like I loved you. Well, at least by the time you married him, he was really rich. It was all a setup. I knew my stepmom was evil, but my own mom, too? The next day, I went down and stepmom called me. I wasn't surprised to see Suzanne and Mom there, too. She got up and smiled at me. Your stepmom was just telling us that we could move in here with you. Look, we even signed a contract. My stepmom walked towards me with a piece of paper. We just need everyone's signatures. Drop this stupid act, you greedy witch. My stepmom flared up. How dare you talk to me like that, you ungrateful brat? Mom tried to calm her down, but she was on a roll. I kept her in this house I sent her to that fancy school and spent my money on your stupid kiddie parties and designer dresses. She looked startled, as if I'd slept
Oh
her. Then she
snap!
saw the piece of... Yes, I found this in your study. Now that Suzanne and I were about to get our trust fund at 18, you decided to have us sign it over? You evil, evil woman. I turned to my mom. And you? You've never cared about us. You just follow the money no matter where it comes from. You're even okay with stealing from your own kids? Suzanne listened in complete shock as I revealed their
Wow.
plans. Come live with me. You don't have to deal with Mom or put up with that stupid Emmett anymore. I kicked Mom and Stepmom out of the house. At least give me some money for rent. Does this woman ever give up? For the first time in our lives, Suzanne and I were the cool kids. We had so many boys asking us out all the time, but my heart was set on Ryan. My friends looked down on him because he wasn't rich and was here on a scholarship. I knew how that felt, so I didn't let that stop me from dating him. He was such a babe. One day, I was sitting at the cafe when I heard, "Hey, gorgeous." I was shocked to see my ex-boyfriend, Sean. What are you doing here? I'm sorry, I was such a jerk. I've really missed you. Before I could say anything, Ryan walked over and stood in front of him. Get away from her, you creep. Make me. I was enjoying seeing them fight over me. Me! I grabbed Ryan's hand. Leave him alone. He's not worth it. A few days later, Suzanne decided to throw a huge party at home. She said she just started
Okay.
seeing someone and was excited for me to meet him. I nearly fell back at the pool when it was Sean. This guy was a piece of work. It was so annoying that Sean was always at our place. It was like Suzanne had found a replacement for Mom. He had Suzanne doing everything for him, and they were spending money like crazy. He had her hosting huge parties for his friends every weekend. He was
Oh
always ordering
wow.
stuff for himself online using her credit card. One day, a
Money. Money.
flashy yellow convertible sped into the driveway. To my horror, Sean and Suzanne hopped out of it. Well, what do you think? It's so pretty. Sean kissed her on the cheek, and I'll take my pretty girlfriend everywhere in it. Wow, that must have cost a fortune. Your sister and her stupid boyfriend are going to blow all your money before you know it. I know. What do I do? You have to stop it. After all, you're the one who kicked out your stepmom. Suzanne would have been stupid enough to sign it all over. And you were your dad's favorite. This is your house, really. Suzanne walked into my room later that day, looking... Hey, can you call the bank and ask why my credit card isn't working? Oh, I already know why. I had it blocked. She looked furious. Why the hell would you
Mm.
do that? I'm not gonna have you and that idiot spend all of our money on stupid things. You're so dumb. You can't even see why Sean is with you. You're just jealous because he dumped you. I see the way you look at him. Yeah, I do look at him. With disgust. I don't want him to live here, and frankly, I don't want to live with you either. I'm going to talk to a lawyer, and we're going to divide the trust fund money. And after that, I want you and Sean out of here. Suzanne was acting out by ignoring me completely and not doing any of the house chores, while Sean was just sulking in some corner or the other and giving me murderous looks. I had to get rid of them both. Soon. I was getting a bit worried about Ryan because I hadn't seen him or heard from him in a few days. When the bell rang, I ran to the door hoping it was him. Instead, I found a courier boy outside. You've been served, miss. Please sign here. I opened the letter with shaking hands, stared at it in shock. Ryan had sued me? Nothing I was reading made any sense. The letter said my dad had stolen his dad's idea for the app that had made him a millionaire. And he had proof? Immediately, I went over to Ryan's house and banged on the door. He came out. A shiver went down my spine as he said boldly, "What's the meaning of all this? You want to know why you live in a mansion, sweetie? Your daddy is a thief who cheated his best friend out of his idea.
Huh.
My dad died a broken man. He never had the courage to fight his case, but I will. I have the proof I need from your dad's study, and I'm going to strip you of every penny you own." And that's exactly what he did. He won the lawsuit, and to pay the...
Wait. Wow. Wow. This is a lot of drama taken in. Processing
damages,
in my
I
brain.
lost all of the money Dad had left me, and I had to sell the house. And now here I was, in an apartment smaller than what that loser Emmett owned, and I had to share it with Stan. And we both had to work just to make rent. I felt miserable. It was the gloomiest Christmas morning. I had woke up crying, thinking of my huge fireplace and our pretty tree. I heard the bell ring and dragged my... There was a bright, nicely wrapped box outside. I was so excited to open it. Who could it be from? I lifted the lid and found an old, smelly shoe inside. It wasn't even a pair. I spotted an
What?
envelope and inside was a note and a photograph. The note read, "Merry Christmas, from our family to yours." I almost dropped the photo in shock. It was Mom and Stepmom and Ryan and another girl next to them. She looked just like me and Suzanne, and she was wearing the same necklace. We stared at each other, stunned. What could this possibly mean?
Wait,
I
what?
lifted the lid.
What? 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 That was a lot of information processing. Breakup, suing, lawsuit. That was a lot of information. Like, this was heavily rushed. Anyway, I'm TJ360. I'm out and have a fantastic day. This episode was heavily rushed. Very heavily rushed.